Hello, good day. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question. Question 1. A group of chemical substances found in food is referred to as dash. A. Minerals, B. Nutrients, C. Balanced diet, and D. Chemical energy. So we have to pick an option which is referred as a group of chemical substances found in food. Now option A says minerals. I want you to understand that mineral is a class of food. Mineral is a class of food, and this mineral is required in low quantity. That is, it's not required in large amounts. Example of minerals include your sodium, your potassium, and so on. Now that's for A. B here, balanced diet, simply means eating all the classes of food. That is, a food that contains all the classes of food, the 6 classes of food, in the right proportion. That's in the right amount. Food that contains all the 6 classes of food in the right amount. Then chemical energy. Chemical energy is a type of energy. Contained in various substances referred to as fuel. Contained in various substances referred to as fuel. Example is food, wood. All these are fuel that contains what? Chemical energy. Now nutrients here, on the other hand, are group of chemical substances. They are the group of chemical substances. Nutrients are a group of chemical substances that are found in food. So nutrients are a group of chemical substances found in food. From this you see that what B, nutrients, is our answer, because mineral is a class of food. Balanced diet is a food that contains all these classes of food in the right proportion, and chemical energy is a type of energy contained in substances we refer to as fuel. And like I said, food contains chemical energy. But now the group of chemical substances found in food is referred to as nutrients. And it is nutrients that enable us grow and stay healthy. So our answer is B, nutrients. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we are going to be considering Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 2. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 2. Calculate the power of a pump in watts. The power of a pump in watts required to lift 160 kg of water through a vertical height of 3 meters in 30 seconds. So we have to calculate the power of a pump, and like we know, the unit of power is watts. Now our options: A says 160 watts, B 1600 watts, C 480 watts, and D says 960 watts. Now before we go, I want to remind us what power means. Power simply means the rate of doing work. That's the meaning of power. Power means the rate of doing work. This means that power is giving us work over time. And like we know, work here, the formula for calculating work is what? Force times distance. Meaning that work is the product of force and the distance. Definitely power will be equals to force times distance all over time. Time. Now in our question here, they say we should calculate the power of a pump in watts required to lift 160 kg, which is the mass of water, through a vertical height of 3 meters in 30 seconds. Now we don't have the force, but we have the distance, which is 3 meters. and we have our time, which is 30 seconds. So now, how do we find the force? How do we find force? Now, force is given as mass m times acceleration a, and acceleration a, because we are dealing with what? We are dealing with gravity. We are dealing with height now. Acceleration can also be given as what? Acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity, because we are dealing with height now. Acceleration due to gravity, which is g, and like we're given, g is equals to what? 10 meter per second square. 10 meter per second square. So definitely our force is equals to what? Mass times acceleration due to gravity, g, and this is equals to 160 times 10. 160 times 10. 10 is our acceleration due to gravity, and this will give us what? 1600 Newton. So our force is equals to mass times acceleration due to gravity, and our mass is 160 kg, times 10, which is the acceleration due to gravity, and to give us 160 Newton. So therefore our force is equals to 1600 Newton. So 1600 multiplied by our distance, which is 3 meters. Our distance is 3 meters, and our time is what? 30 seconds. So now we divide this 0 here, we cancel this 0 here, and the 3 here, we cancel this 3. So we are left with what? We are left with 160 watts. So our answer is 160 watts. And from the option A says what? 160 watts. So 160 watts is the power of a pump that is required to lift 160 kg of water through a vertical height of 3 meters in 30 seconds. So 160 watts is our answer A. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 3. The energy possessed by stretched rubber is called dash. The energy possessed by stretched rubber is called dash. A. Mechanical energy, B. Kinetic energy, C. Potential energy, and D. Light energy. So we have to look for the type of energy that is possessed by stretched rubber. Now A says mechanical energy, and mechanical energy is the sum total of kinetic and potential energy. So it is sum total of kinetic and potential energy. Now what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is simply the energy. This is simply the energy in motion. So kinetic energy is also simply defined as what? Energy in motion. That is energy contained in a moving object. That is kinetic energy. Now potential energy, on the other hand, simply means what? Energy at rest. The energy at rest, or energy in an object which is at rest. That is the object is not in motion. And now light energy here is also a form of energy that involves what? That is in the form of electromagnetic wave. So this is a form of energy which is in form of electromagnetic wave. That's light energy, and light energy is the only type of energy that is visible to the eyes. This is the only type of energy that is visible to the eyes. The other type of energy is not visible to the eye. So, and we are asked to find the energy possessed by a stretched rubber. By stretched rubber. Now, mechanical energy here is the sum total of kinetic and potential energy, meaning that kinetic and potential energy are both the components of mechanical energy. So if we are to pick mechanical energy as our answer, it will be too big, because mechanical energy consists of both kinetic energy and potential energy. But we have to look for the specific energy that a stretched rubber possesses. Now when you stretch a rubber, the rubber now is not yet in motion. At that state, we say the rubber is at rest. At that state, the rubber is at rest. And like we say that energy at rest, or energy contained in an object at rest, is potential energy. So from there you see that what our answer is C, potential energy. We would have chosen mechanical energy, but mechanical energy consists of both kinetic energy and potential energy. So choosing mechanical energy, we won't ascertain if it's either kinetic or potential. So for us to be sure of our answer, of the right answer, we have to break it down to these two types of energy. And like we said, this stretch rubber is at rest, and energy at rest is the potential energy. So our answer is C, potential energy. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. We're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 4. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 4. The bouncing back of light from object it strikes is called. The bouncing back of light from object it strikes is called A. Radiation, B. Refraction, C. Transmission, and D. Reflection. Now all these are properties of light. All these here are properties of light, and the bouncing back of light from an object is also one of the properties of light. Now for us to pick an answer, we have to understand and know the meaning of each of these properties. Now radiation simply means the emission of energy. So radiation simply means the emission of energy, and like we know, light is a form of energy. So radiation can simply mean what? The emission of light energy. Then refraction here simply means the change in direction. The change in direction of light when it passes through different medium with different density. That is the change in the direction of light. Change in direction of light when light passes through what? Through different medium in which their density is different. Like for instance, when light passes from air to water, there will be a change in direction of this light, because what? The density of air and the density of water is different. So that's what refraction is. Then transmission here, transmission just simply means the propagation of light. The propagation of light. That's what transmission simply means. And then D here says reflection. Now reflection is the word bouncing back. This is the bouncing back of light. Reflection is bouncing back of light when it strikes an object. An example of this object is mirror. Mirror is a very, very good example of an object that would bounce back light. When lights fall on object like mirror, it will bounce back. So our answer for this question is D, reflection, because the question says the bouncing back of light from object it strike is called dash, and like I said, reflection simply means what? The throwing off or the bouncing back of light when it strikes what? Plane objects. So our answer is D, reflection. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 5. Calculate the work done in joules if a horizontal push of 150 Newton moves a box horizontally through a distance of 5 meters. A. 155 joules, B. 145 joules, C. 750 joules, and D. 30 joules. like we know, a push is a form of force. Like we said, application of force can either be in form of push or pull. Now, a force is applied to push a box horizontally, and this force F is equals to 150 Newton, and then through a distance D of 5 meters. Now we have to find the work done, and like we know, the unit of work done is joules. So, and we know that work is given as a product of force and distance. Work is a product of force and distance, and this takes place in the direction of the force. So work will be given as force times distance, and like we know, our force is 150 Newton and our distance is 5 meters. Now when you multiply 150 by 5, this will give you 750 joules, which is the unit of work. So our answer is C, 750 joules. C is our answer. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we're going to be dealing with Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 6. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 6. Which of the following is a natural satellite of the Earth? Which of the following is a natural satellite of the Earth? A. Sun, B. Moon, C. Star, and D. Comet. So we have to look for the natural satellites of the Earth. Now, what is a satellite? A satellite simply refers to a body in space. It's a body in space that orbits or circle around a bigger body in space. So this is just the simple definition of a satellite. And now we are asked to find the natural satellite of the Earth. And like we know, the Earth is one of the planets of the world, and this Earth is a body in space. So we have to ask to look for the natural satellite of the Earth. Now A here says Sun, and like we know, Sun is the largest star. Sun is the largest star. Sun is a star, but the largest. And so Sun does not what? It doesn't orbit. Sun do not orbit or circle. Rather, it is the Earth. It is the Earth that orbits around the Sun. So the Sun do not orbit. So definitely, Sun cannot be the satellites of the Earth. It can't be Sun. Then C here says star. Now, like we know, star are what? They are heavenly bodies, and these stars, they do not orbit also. They do not orbit. So a star cannot be the natural satellite of the Earth. And D here says comet. D says comet. Now a comet is an icy small solar body system. Just an icy small solar body system, which when it gets to the Sun, it releases what? It releases gases. On approaching the Sun, it releases gases. So comet is an icy small solar body system. When it approaches the Sun, it releases gases. It does not necessarily, it do not orbit around the Earth. It do not orbit around the Earth. And like we say a satellite is a body in space that orbits or circle around a bigger body in space. Now B here says moon, so orbit is not it. B here says moon, and like we know, moon orbits around the Earth. Moon orbits around the Earth. Moon is smaller than the Earth, and it orbits around the Earth in space. It moves around the Earth. So because of this, we regard moon as the satellite of the Earth. Moon is regarded as the satellite of the Earth because it orbits around the Earth. It moves around the Earth. So our answer to this question is moon. Our answer is moon, which is B. So B is our answer, moon. Thank you very much. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Welcome. Today we're going to be doing Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 7. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 7. Calculate the mass in kg of a ball at height of 3 meters above the ground with a potential energy of 120 joules. Calculate the mass in kg of a ball at height of 3 meters above the ground with a potential energy of 120 joules. A. 400 kg, B. 40 kg, C. 4 kg, and D. 0.4 kg. So we have to calculate the mass. We have to look for the mass. We have the heights, and we have a potential energy. Now, like we know, potential energy is a type of mechanical energy. And this is the energy energy of an object at rest. Energy possessed by an object at rest. So potential energy, which is PE, is given as mass times gravity, acceleration due to gravity, times the height, which is mgh. But now we have a potential energy PE to be equals to 120 joules. We have our height, which is h, to be 3 meters, and now our g, which is a constant, acceleration due to gravity, is equal to 10 meter per second square. So to find our mass now, we have to make this mass the subject of the formula, and by making mass here the subject of the formula, what do we have? We have that mass is equal to the potential energy all over the gravity times the height, and this will give us 120, which is our potential energy, 120 joules, all over 10, which is our acceleration due to gravity, times 3, which is the height, and this will give us 120 all over 30. Now 120 divided 30, this 0 will cancel the 0, and 3 in 12 will give us 4. 3 in 12 will give us 4. So we have 4 kg. So therefore our mass, the mass of the ball, is equal to 4 kg. 4 kg is our answer, and from the option C here says 4 kg, which is our answer. So 4 kg is our answer. Thank you very much. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we're going to be considering Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 8. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 8. A drainage pattern made up of numerous cracks that form a grid is called A. Dendritic, B. Parallel, C. Radial, and D. Rectangular. Now I want us to understand that we are asked to look for a drainage pattern made up of numerous cracks that forms a grid. But before we continue, let's know what a grid simply means. A grid just is simply represented as this. This is a simple representation of a grid. So we have to look for we have to pick an answer of a drainage pattern that is made up of numerous cracks that will form a grid like this, something like this. Now A here says dendritic. Now dendritic drainage pattern is a form of drainage that resembles a tree or branches of a tree, like this. This pattern is like the branches of a tree, the dendritic system. It's like a tree. While the parallel here is just like a river basin, from the word parallel, like river basins, they never meet. So because of this, it doesn't form a grid. Then radial here, from the word radial here simply means what? Like in circular form. something like this in circular form. This is a drainage pattern in radial. This is the radial, this is the parallel. Then now D says rectangular. D says rectangular. Rectangular is also a drainage pattern, and in this rectangular drainage pattern, the numerous cracks are in form of a grid. In form of a grid. You have it like this. You have it like this. In form of a grid, something like this. Something like this. So this is the rectangular drainage pattern. So from this, you see that D is our answer, rectangular, because we are asked to look for a drainage pattern made up of numerous cracks that form a grid, and all these are drainage pattern. The dendritic drainage pattern is in form of a tree. The parallel drainage pattern is like a river basin, parallel, it do not meet. Then the radial drainage pattern, it's radial to each, like the drainage pattern is constructed in a circular manner, radially, like this. Then the rectangular pattern is in form of a grid. The rectangular drainage pattern like this, in form of a grid. And from our answer, from our question, we have to look for the drainage pattern in form of a grid. And D is the answer, which is rectangular. So D here is the answer. Rectangular drainage pattern is the pattern made up of numerous cracks that form a grid. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we're going to be considering Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 9. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 9. Radioactivity is used for the following except radioactivity is used for the following except A. Carbon dating, B. Kill germs, C. Corrosion, and D. Treatment, and to treat cancer. To treat cancer. Now, like we know, radioactivity here simply means what? The spontaneous disintegration. Spontaneous disintegration of substances like elements. So now we have to look for the uses of radioactivity, and then to pick from this option which is not a use of radioactivity. A here says carbon dating. Carbon dating simply means tracing the age of an object, like rocks, using radioactivity. So carbon dating is a use of radioactivity. B here says to kill germ. Now radioactivity has been used to kill germs. It has been used to kill germs in form of what? Sterilization. So we use radioactive substances to sterilize our equipment. So it helps to kill germs. Then C here says corrosion, and like we know, corrosion simply means what? Rusting. And radioactivity is not used in aspect of what? Corrosion. So in the aspect of corrosion, radioactivity is not used. Then D says treatment of cancer. Now radioactivity has been used so far in treating some tumors, and like we know, cancers are tumors. So reactivity has been used in treating some tumor cells. So you see that radioactivity has been used in carbon dating, it has been used in killing germs, and it has been used in treatment of cancer. But radioactivity has not been used in corrosion or in the treatment of corrosion, which is rusting. So from this you see that what C is our answer. C is our answer, corrosion. Thank you very much. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Good day, welcome to Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 10. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 10. An electric motor is a device that converts electrical energy into dash. An electric motor is a device that converts electrical energy into dash. A. Chemical energy, B. Light energy, C. Magnetic, and D. Mechanical energy. Now, what is energy? Energy simply means the ability to do work. That is the ability to do work. This is energy. Now we are asked that an electric motor will convert electrical energy into dash. Like we know, an electrical motor uses electric energy or uses electricity. It uses electricity to power the coil in it, to power the magnetic coil in it, the magnetic coil, thereby causing this coil to rotate. It causes the coil to rotate. Now this rotation is a form of energy. This rotation is a form of energy. Now we have to know the form of energy which rotation falls into, and rotation falls into what? Mechanical energy. It's a mechanical energy, because an electric motor will use electricity. When electricity is connected to this electric motor, it will power the coil, the magnetic coil in this electric motor, and then this will cause the coil to rotate. Now rotation is a form of energy, and this energy is mechanical energy. A says chemical energy. Chemical energy is the energy stored in substances like fuel, food, which is not our answer. B here says light energy, which is not our answer. C says magnetic, which is not our answer. And this says what? Mechanical, which is our answer, because an electric motor will convert electric energy, the electricity, into what? Mechanical energy, which is the rotation of the coil, motion. So our answer is D, mechanical energy. Thank you very much. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 11. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 11. A group of organisms of the same kind living in habitats is described as. A group of organisms of the same kind living in a habitat is described as A. Community, B. Ecosystem, C. Niche, and D. Population. Now we have to understand the meaning of a habitat. Habitat simply means a place where an organism lives. Where an organism lives is called a habitat. A place where an organism lives is called a habitat. Now we have to look for the group of organisms of the same kind living in a habitat. That is, what is it called? How do we describe a group of organisms of the same kind living in a habitat? How do we describe a group of organisms of the same kind living in a place? Now A here says community. A here says community, and I want us to note they said organism of the same kind, but community here simply means what? Group of organisms. Group of organisms. Group of organisms of different species. Of different species. Group of organisms of different species living in a what? In a place or in a habitat. That's community for you. So community are not group of organisms of the same kind. Community is a group of organisms of different species. Take for instance a group of organisms like maybe lizard and then toad living in a particular place. That's what's called community. You have your dog, the cats, the goats living in a particular place. That's a community because they're of different kind. They are not of the same kind. That's community for you. Then ecosystem here on the other hand simply means what? A community of living and non-living things. Community of living and non-living thing. In other words, just simply refers to as what? A biological environment. A biological environment. And like we know, a biological environment is made up of what? The living things and the non-living things. The living things include man, the plants, animals, and the non-living things include what? Their environment. That is the surrounding, the climate, the weather, the soil. So that's what ecosystem means. Then niche here on the other hand simply means what? Niche is the particular position or space occupied by an organism and its function in that habitat or in that what particular space. So a niche just simply refers to the position occupied by an organism and its function in that position or in that space. Then D here says population. Population here now is the group of organisms of the same species. Group of organisms of the same species. That means what? Of the same kind living in a particular place, or what? Living in a habitat. So population is a group of organisms of the same kind, of the same species living in a habitat. And our question says a group of organisms of the same kind living in a habitat is described as. So you see that from here our answer is D, population. Population is a group of organisms of the same kind living in a habitat. Unlike community is a group of organisms of different species living in a habitat. Example of population can be a population of lizard, a group of lizard. They have the same species living in a habitat. But community now, you have lizard and toad living in a habitat. That is a community. So our answer is D, population. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be considering Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 12. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 12. Which of the following produces young one alive? Which of the following produces young one alive? A. Reptiles, B. Mammals, C. Fishes, and D. Amphibians. Now, we are asked to pick the option of organism that produces young one alive, that is, that give birth. What they simply imply is that what we should pick the group of organisms that give birth to young ones alive. That give birth to young one alive. That's what they just want us to do. Group of organisms that give birth to the young one alive. Now A here says what? Reptile. Reptile are group of organisms. Like example of reptile include the lizard. You have the lizard, you have the snake. Snake are reptiles. Now this group of organisms, they do not give birth to their young one alive. What do? They simply lay eggs. They lay eggs, and then when this egg hatch, they get the young ones. So they do not give birth to the young ones alive. Then C here says what? Fishes. And And like we know, fishes, example of fish are what we have: the catfish. These fishes also do not give birth to the young one alive. They simply what lay eggs. They lay eggs. Then when these eggs becomes fertilized, the egg will now hatch. It will hatch to give the what? To give the young one. So they do not give birth to the young ones alive. Then you have the amphibians. Amphibians here simply refers to the toad, the frog. All these are amphibians. Amphibians also do not give birth to the young one alive. They do what? They simply lay eggs. They lay eggs, and when this egg becomes fertilized, it will hatch to give rise to the what? To the young one. To give rise to the young one. Then B here says what? Mammals. Now mammals are a group of organisms. Or are organisms that give birth to the young ones what? Alive. They give birth to their young ones alive. They do not lay egg. In other sense, they do not what? Lay eggs. So they give birth to their young ones alive. So you see from our question say which of the following produces young one alive? Reptiles do not, they lay eggs. Fishes do not, they lay eggs. Amphibians do not, they lay eggs. But mammals what? Give birth to their young ones alive. An example of mammals is man. So our answer is B. Mammals. B is our answer. Mammals give birth to the young ones alive. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. We're going to be considering Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 13. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 13. Boiling water turns into vapor, which then condenses, and this represents dash. Boiling water turns into a vapor, which then condenses, and this represents dash. A. Physical change, B. Chemical change, C. Energy change, and D. Chemical reaction. So before we pick our answer, let's look at this critically. They said boiling water, which is a what? A liquid. It's in a liquid form. The water is in a liquid form, turns into vapor. Now like we know, vapor is in gaseous form, which is a gas, and then condenses. Now when it's condensed, it's going back to what? To the liquid form. So this is the water. We have the water, we have the vapor, and then we have the water back. So from liquid to gas via what? Heating, because they say boiling water changes to vapor, and then it condenses again to liquid. That's what's cooling. Now initially we had our water, then the water gave us gas, that's the vapor, and then it condenses back to what? To the water. Now A says physical change. Like we know, physical change is a what? Physical change are changes that are what? That are reversible. They are reversible. That is, you can get your starting material. Physical change are changes that are reversible. Now B says what? Chemical change. Chemical change on the other hand are not reversible. They are not reversible. Example of chemical change is what? Burning, like burning of wood. When you burn wood, you get ash. Now you cannot get back that wood. So chemical change are irreversible. They are not reversible. Now C here says what? Energy change. Energy change simply means what? Changing from one form of energy to another. Energy change, that's from one form to another. From one form of energy to another. Like take for instance now, changing from a mechanical energy to an electrical energy. Like you see your electric motor converts what? Electrical energy to a mechanical energy. So that's an energy change. Then D here says chemical reaction. And like we know, chemical reaction just what? Reaction between what? two substances. That's when two substances what chemically combine together. When two substances chemically combine together to give a what? To give a new product. To give a new product. But our question says boiling water turns into a vapor. That is, the water now turns into a gas, which then condenses and what? And give us back our what? Our liquid. It condenses to give us back our liquid. So from this, we see that what physical change says these are changes that are reversible. Now, initially we had our water, which is a liquid. It changes into a vapor, which is gas. But then it condenses, it cools now to give us what? Our water back. So we refer to this as what? As a physical change, because it is reversible. The change is reversible. Like we say, it is reversible. So boiling water turned into a vapor, which then condenses back into a liquid, is a physical change. It is not a chemical change. A chemical change, you cannot get back your what? Your water. And I give you an instance: burning of wood. You cannot get back your water. And the energy change is changed from one form of energy to another, like I told you, from like electrical energy to mechanical energy. And chemical reaction occurs when what? Two substances chemically combine together. So our answer for this question is A. Physical change. Is a physical change because what? Our water has been gotten back. So A. Physical change is the answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Today, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 14. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 14. Chemicals can exist as dash. Chemicals can exist as dash. A. Solids, liquids, gases. B. Solids, liquids only. C. Gases and liquids only. And D. Liquids only. Now, what are chemicals? What are chemicals? Chemical simply refers to what? A substance. Any substance, anything that contains what? Anything at all that contains matter. Anything that contains matter is a chemical. Once that thing just contains matter, anything that contains matter is a chemical. And like we know, we say what? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Matter is anything that has mass and occupy what? Space. And matter can exist in three forms. Matter exists in three forms, which are what? The solid, the liquid, and the gas form. Now our question says chemicals can exist as, and like we said, we say chemical is any substance or anything that contains matter. And since chemical contains matter, and matter can exist in three forms, which is a solid, liquid, and gas, therefore we can say chemicals can exist as either what? As either solid or liquid or what? Or gases. So chemical can exist as either solid, liquid, or gases, because what? Chemical contains what? Matter, and matter can exist as solid, liquid, and gases. So definitely chemicals can exist as solid, liquid, and gas. Now, example of a solid chemical. Example of a solid chemical, you have your common salt, like what? NaCl, your common salt, sodium chloride. Then example of chemicals which are liquid, like your acids. They are what? Liquid chemicals. Then gases, example of gases are like what? Your carbon 4 oxide, CO2. So all these are what? They are chemicals. So chemical is a substance that contains matter. So chemical can exist as either solid, liquid, or gases. So from this, A is our answer. A is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, you're welcome. Today we're going to be considering Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 15. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 15. The following are examples of organic chemicals except the following are examples of organic chemicals except A. Gum, B. Latex, C. Base, and D. Drug. Now, what are organic chemicals? What are organic chemicals? Organic chemicals simply refers to what? Chemical substances or chemical substances that contains carbon. They contains what? Mainly carbon and its derivatives. So they contains mainly carbon and its derivatives. Carbon and its derivatives. And they occur what? Or they are found in nature. They are found in nature. Now, A says gum. Like we know, gum can be gotten from what? From trees. Gum can be gotten from trees. And this gum is what? Is a carbon compound. And so it's an organic chemical. Gum is an organic chemical. It's gotten from trees. Trees like your Arabian gum. So it consists of what? Carbon and its derivative. So gum is what? An organic compound. B here says what? Latex. And an example of tree where you get latex from is what? Your rubber. And like we know, rubber occurs in nature. Rubber occurs in nature because rubber is a tree and latex can be gotten from rubber. And it consists of what? Carbon and its derivatives. Now D here says drugs. Like you know, drug is what? An organic compound. Drugs are organic compound. They are organic what? Chemicals. Because of what? They consist of carbon and its derivatives. They consist of carbon and its derivatives. Now C here says what? C here says base. C here says base, and like we know, base are substances. Base are chemical substances. They are substances which in aqueous solution, that is in water, that's what we mean by aqueous solution, which in aqueous solution will produce the hydroxyl ion, the OH what? Minus. We call this what? The hydroxyl ion. Hydroxyl ion. So these are base. Base are chemical substances which in aqueous solution in water, when you put base in water, they will produce what? Hydroxyl ion. These base are slippery. They have sour taste. And these base are not what? They do not contain carbon or carbon derivatives. They do not contain carbon or carbon derivatives, unlike the gum from tree and the latex and the drugs which contains carbon and carbon derivatives, and because of that we refer to them as organic chemicals. But the base do not contains what? Carbon and its derivatives. Instead, they are substances which in aqueous solution will produce what? Hydroxyl ion. So base is not an organic chemical. Base is not an organic chemical. And for my question, we have to pick what? Out of these options, the one that is not an organic chemical, and that's so is base. C is our answer. Base is not an organic chemical. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 16. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 16. The following are common factors that facilitate drug abuse except the following are common factors that facilitate drug abuse except A. Education, B. Ignorance, C. Peer group, and D. Poverty. So we have to pick a factor that do not, because this word except here means that do not facilitate drug abuse, and like we know, facilitate means what? That encourage or causes drug abuse. So we have to pick an option that does not cause or lead towards drug abuse. Now I will just start with B. B here says ignorance, and like we know, ignorance simply means what? Not having. Ignorance simply means not having the knowledge not having knowledge about something. So we say the person is what ignorant of that thing. When someone doesn't have knowledge about something, the person is ignorant. Now when one is ignorant, or when one is ignorant of drug abuse, that is, you don't have any knowledge about drug abuse, the person doesn't know the danger of this drug abuse, and then the person will engage himself in these hard drugs. So ignorance will facilitate drug abuse. Now C says peer group. Now peer group simply means what? Pressure. Pressure from friends. Like we know, each of us has our peer group, we have our group of friends. Now, these your friends might be pressurizing you to engage in this drug abuse because they also engage in drug abuse. And if care is not taken, you find yourself abusing these drugs because of what? The pressure from your friends. So peer group facilitates what? Drug abuse. Now D here says poverty. Poverty, like we know today, poverty leads to what? Poverty leads to drug abuse. And how does poverty lead to drug abuse? Because some people, they want to they're looking for a means to take their mind off their suffering. Some people are looking for a means to take their mind off their suffering, and because of this, they go into drug abuse so that they can feel high and not worry about anything. So poverty leads to drug abuse. Now A here says what? Education. Education simply means what? The act of what? Acquiring knowledge. That's acquisition of knowledge. Acquisition of knowledge. That's education. So now when you have knowledge about drug abuse, that is now when you are educated, or when you have knowledge about drug abuse, you know the danger of drug abuse, you know the side effects of abusing drug, and definitely you will not even participate in this drug abuse or engage yourself in drug abuse. So you see that education will not facilitate drug abuse. Instead, education will help to limit the abuse of drugs. And our question says that the following factors facilitate drug abuse except. So from this you see that A, education will not facilitate drug abuse. Education will not facilitate drug abuse. So A is the answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day. You're welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 17. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 17. The substance with fixed composition and distinct properties is said to be dash. A. Liquid, B. Solid, C. Mixed, and D. Pure. So the substance with fixed composition and distinct properties is said to be dash. Now when we say fixed composition, it means that what? The composition is what? Is set. That is, the composition cannot change. And then when we say distinct property, it means that what? It has its own character. That is, this substance has its own characters. That is what? That is peculiar to it. That is peculiar to it. That means by distinct property. That means these properties are peculiar to this substance. It's just the substance that has it. Now A here says liquid, and like we know, liquid is a what? Is a state of matter. Liquid is a state of matter, and we have various liquids, e.g. we have water, and water has its own properties. Another example of liquid is what? We have oil, and this oil has its own properties. So you can see that liquid doesn't have a fixed composition or distinct properties because liquid consists of other things. Now B here says what? It says solid. Solid is also a state of matter, and we have various solids. We have various solids, e.g. your ice block is a solid, your ice block is a solid, your metals are solid, and each of these have their own distinct properties and their composition. So solid is too ambiguous. So solid does not have a distinct property of its composition because of what? It consists of various things. Now C here says mixed. Now mixed, when you have substances that are mixed, take for instance now you have like your salts and sand mixed together. You notice that what? This substance is not what? the composition is not fixed and the property is not distinct, because this mixed substance will have its what, the composition of both salts and sand, and each of these components will have their own what, their own properties. Then D here now says pure. Now when a substance is pure, it means that this substance is alone. Take for instance now, you have a substance like salt, and this salt is the only thing present. You notice that this salt, we call it pure because it has its own fixed composition. It has its own fixed composition, and the properties of this salt will be distinct because it's only the salt that is present. And that's why we say the substance with fixed composition and distinct property is said to be pure, because there is no impurity. Normally, impurities in a substance will change its property, but because this substance now is pure, there is no impurity. Its composition will be fixed and its property will be distinct, as its property will be peculiar to it. So the answer for this question is pure. D. D is the answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 18. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 18. The full meaning of NDLEA is, the full meaning of NDLEA is A. National for Drug Administration and Control, B. National Daily Law Enforcement Agency, C. National Drug Disempower Agency, and D. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Now we are asked to find the full meaning of NDLEA. NDLEA, and like we know, NDLEA is a governmental organization, that is, it's a body set up by the government. NDLEA is a body set up by the government to fight against the use of illegal drugs. So this is a body set up by the government to fight against the use of illegal drugs. And now NDLEA simply means the national, since it is set up by the Nigeria government, it is a national drug, like I told you, to fight against the use of illegal drug. National Drug Law, that's for the L. Enforcement, to enforce the law now. Enforcement now agency. So what it simply means is that this is an agency that enforces the law against the use of illegal drugs in a nation, and that's why it refers to as National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. It just simply means an agency that has been set up by the government to enforce the law against the use of illegal drugs in the nation, and that's why it refers to as National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And from this you see that D is our answer. This is National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and that is our answer. Thank you and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 19. The liquid of unrefined petroleum is called dash. The liquid of unrefined petroleum is called dash. A. Crude oil, B. ethane, C. Lubricating oil, and D. Petrochemical. Now we are asked that the liquid of unrefined, this word unrefined means it has not undergone process, that is, where petroleum is gotten from has not undergone process, that is, it has not been refined, that's not undergone process. Now A says crude oil, B says ethane, C says lubricating oil, and D says petroleum. Now let me start from ethane. Now ethane is a gas. Ethane is a gas. and this gas is gotten after the what? After the distillation. We call it fractional distillation. That's the process which this unrefined petroleum undergo afterwards. Fractional distillation, that's what it's called. So you get this gas. Ethane is a gas, it's a natural gas, you get this gas after the fractional distillation of this unrefined petroleum. Now C here says what? Lubricating oil. And this lubricating oil, like we commonly call it what? The engine oil, but it's known as the lubricating oil. Now this oil is also gotten after the what? Fractional distillation of this unrefined petroleum. Now petrochemical here simply refers to what? Products from the processing of the unrefined petroleum. Now what is this unrefined petroleum? That's what they ask us now. A here says what? Crude oil. Now crude oil is this liquid. Yeah, crude oil is the liquid of unrefined petroleum. It is this crude oil which is a mineral resources. This crude oil, which is a mineral resources. Now when this crude oil is refined, that is when it is being processed, and this process, like I told you, is fractional distillation. When you process this crude oil, that is when you get what? Other petrochemical products like your petroleum, your ethane, your lubricating oil, and so on. So the liquid of unrefined petroleum is known as crude oil. Crude oil is a mineral resource found in certain places like Nigeria. Now Nigeria is known to be a major parts where crude oil can be found. So the liquid of unrefined petroleum is known as crude oil. So A is our answer, crude oil. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question 20. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question 20. It says the electrical symbol below. Now this is the electrical symbol. They're just asking us this one. This is the electrical symbol. I couldn't get it on the distance, so I'm sorry for that, but this is the electrical symbol. It says the electrical symbol below represents A ammeter, B cell, C resistor, and D switch. So we are asked for what this electrical symbol represents. Now A says ammeter, and like we know, ammeter is an instrument. Ammeter is an instrument used to measure what? Current. It's used to measure current. In amperes. So ammeter is an instrument used to measure current in amperes, and this current is represented as this. Represents current as this. So this is a symbol of current in what? In electricity. Then B says cell. Now like we know, cell simply means what? Battery. And this cell, also known as battery, is represented as this. Represents cell or battery as this. Now C says resistor, and like we know, resistor is a what? Is also an electrical equipment. So an electrical equipment, and it is measured in resistance. Resistor is an electrical equipment, and this resistor is measured in what? In ohms. And this resistor can be represented as this, with this symbol. Resistor is represented with this symbol. So this is a symbol for a resistor. Now D says what? Switch. D says switch, and like we know, this switch enables us to what? To on or off. It's just meant for what? To on or off. That's, it controls the flow of current into the circuit. The switch controls the flow of current into the circuit. Controls the flow of current into the circuit. Now, what is the symbol of this switch now? The symbol of this switch is simply like this. This is the symbol of the switch, like this. And you can see that the symbol look like the symbol we are given, because you see the electrical symbol below represents a or and dash. So this symbol is exactly the same with the symbol of a switch. So our answer is a switch, because like I told you, this switch, when you on it, it will enable current flow through the circuit, and when you off it, it will prevent current from going to that circuit. So it controls the flow of what? Current in an electric circuit. Now how does it do this? Like you see the symbol now, look at the symbol. This is like a terminal, and this is a terminal. Now this here just simply represents the switch, because when you on now, this here will definitely connect to this, and when it connects with this, what happens? There will be a flow of electric current through the circuit. But when you off it, this here now will not connect. Now it will go back to its main position as it is like this, and so preventing current from flowing through the circuit. And that is why this symbol is a symbol of a switch. Symbol of a switch. Like I told you, this is a symbol of a cell, is a symbol of current, and this is a symbol of the resistor. But this is a symbol of a switch. So our answer is D, switch. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 21. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 21. To make powerful magnets, we use an alloy called dash. To make powerful magnets, we use an alloy called dash. A. Alnico, B. Aluminium, C. Cobalt, and D. Ferrite. Now they say to make a powerful magnet, we use an alloy called dash. Now, an alloy to make a powerful magnet. And like we know, for a powerful magnet simply refers to permanent magnet. Permanent magnet, that is, these magnets cannot lose their magnetic property. No matter the condition in which they are faced, they cannot lose their magnetic property. They cannot lose their magnetic property. Lose their magnetic property. That is, they cannot be demagnetized. They cannot be demagnetized. So, and the question says, we should that to make a powerful magnet, we use an alloy called dash. Now B here says, let me start from B. B here says aluminium, and like we know, aluminium is not an alloy, because an alloy is simply made up of the combination of several metals. Alloy is formed via the combination of metals, like the combination of iron and cobalt, iron and nickel. So that's how you get an alloy. But aluminium here, B says aluminium, and aluminium is not an alloy. Aluminium is an element, a metal, an element, just one metal. And aluminium is not an alloy. But we are asked to find an alloy which can be used to make a powerful magnet. So definitely aluminium is out of the option because it's not an alloy. Likewise, cobalt. Cobalt also is an element, is a metallic element, it's not an alloy. Cobalt is not an alloy, but it's a metallic element. And the question says, which alloy can be used to make a powerful magnet? So we have to note this words, alloy and powerful magnet. And cobalt here is not an alloy, it's an element. So cobalt cannot be an answer. Now D here says ferrites. If you look at this ferrites very well, you might want to be confused, but actually ferrite is actually made up of the combination of iron and some metallic elements like barium. So ferrite is actually formed by mixing large proportion of iron, by mixing what? Large proportion of iron, then with other metallic elements such as your barium, your manganese. Now you can refer to these ferrites as what? As alloy. You have to refer to them as alloy. But now ferrites cannot be used to produce a powerful magnet. Ferrites can be used to produce what? Just temporary magnets. They cannot be used to produce powerful magnets. It's just temporary magnet they can use to produce. And you know, a powerful magnet simply means what? Permanent magnet. Like I told you, a powerful magnet simply refers to what? Permanent magnet. Now A here says alnico, and alnico is an alloy. Which is composed of iron. It's composed of nickel, aluminium, and cobalt. And that is where it derived its name from. Alnico, aluminium, nickel, and cobalt. And this alloy is a what? Is a ferromagnetic. It has a ferromagnetic property. That means it can attract a magnet, and it can be used to produce what? A powerful magnet. Alnico here can be used to produce a powerful magnet, that is a permanent magnet. Alnico is used to produce a permanent magnet. So our answer to this question is alnico A, because we are asked to look for an alloy that can be used to produce a powerful magnet. And like we know, aluminum is not an alloy, cobalt is not an alloy, ferrite is an alloy but cannot be used to produce a powerful magnet or a permanent magnet. But alnico here is an alloy of iron, nickel, aluminum, and cobalt, and that's where the name arises from, alnico. And like I said, it can be used to produce a what? It can be used to produce a permanent magnet because of its ferromagnetic property. So the answer is A, alnico. Alnico is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 22. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 22. Houses are usually wired in dash. Houses are usually wired in dash. A, series and parallel. B, parallel. C, series, and D, closed circuits. Now, like we know, we have two types of what connections as electrical connection. We have the series and the parallel connection. Now, in terms of the series connection, all appliances are connected together. That is, all appliances are connected together. All appliances are connected together, and each of them what? They share the same voltage. They share the same voltage and are controlled by the same switch. And are controlled by a single switch. They are controlled by a single switch. But in terms of parallel connection, what happens? These appliances are actually connected together, but now each of them have their own what? They have their own respective voltage. They have their respective voltage and are controlled by their own switch, and also controlled by their own switch. Now I'm going to explain further. They are controlled by their own switch. Now, when you wire your house in series, the appliances at home, which are numerous, will only have one switch. That is, take for instance, now you have a bulb, you have bulb at home, you have your fan, like your ceiling fan, your standing fan, and you connect all these things together. Now, if your house connection is in series, whenever you put off your switch, you notice that your bulb, your fan, and every appliances you are using will go off. This is because they are all connected in series, and they are connected to a particular switch, and they share the same voltage. And there are sometimes you need lights and you don't need fan. and this is not possible using series connection. But in terms of parallel connection, and when you connect your house in parallel, what happens? Each of these appliances gets to use their own voltage and get to use their own switch, so that whenever you want to put off your bulb, you can put off your bulb without affecting the fan. And that is why houses are connected in parallel. So houses are usually wired in parallel connection, not series connection, because in series connection, the appliances will share the same voltage and be controlled by a single switch. But for parallel connection, each of these appliances will have their own respective voltage and be controlled by their own switch. So the options here say A, series and parallel, which is not correct. C says series, like I told you, it is not correct. And D here says closed circuit. Closed circuit is not correct. Although houses are wired, like the circuits in the houses are closed circuit, but still that is not the what is required for us in this question. This question requires us to provide the method by which houses are being wired, because both the series connection and parallel connection are both in closed circuits. So the right answer here is parallel connection. Like I told you, this parallel connection enables each appliances to make use of their own voltage without depending on each other's voltage, and also to be controlled by their own switch. So our answer here is B, parallel connection. B is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, you're welcome. So today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 23. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 23. Sublimation is a change of states from dash. Sublimation is a change of states from dash. A, solid to liquid. B, solid to melting. C, solid to vapor. And D, liquid to gases. Now, like we know, change of states simply means what? Change from one, that's change from one form of matter, change from one form of matter to another. And like we know, there are different types of change of states. You have from solid to gases, you have from solid to liquid, from liquid to solid, from liquid to gas, from gas to liquid, and so on. Now we are asked that sublimation here is a change of states from what to what, because sublimation is actually a change of states. Now A here says what? Solid to liquid. A says solid to liquid. Now the change of state from solid to liquid simply refers to what? It simply refers to melting. Simply refers to melting. Melting is a change of state from solid to liquid, and for you to melt, you require what? Heat. Heat. Take for instance, when you have an ice block. An ice block is a solid. Ice block is a solid. Now, this ice block, when you apply heat, it will melt to give you what? It will melt to give you water. And this water here is a liquid. So you can see that solid to liquid is melting. Now, B here says solid to melting. Like we know, you cannot change from solid to melting because melting is a change of state. So this is actually wrong. Now D says from liquid to gas. From liquid to gas. Now changing from liquid to gas is known as vaporization. From liquid to gas is known as what? Vaporization. Vaporization or boiling. Now take for instance, when you have a liquid like water. When you have a liquid like water, water is a liquid, and now you apply heat. You apply heat to this water. It will give you what? It will now begin to change to vapor, which is gas. It will change to what? Vapor, and vapor is a gas. Now what happened? You've boiled this water by the application of heat, or you vaporize this water by applying heat to give vapor. So the change from liquid to gases is either vaporization or boiling. Now C here says what? From solid to vapor. From solid to vapor. Now the change from solid directly to vapor without passing through the liquid stage Remember, the three states of matter are solid, liquid, and gases. This vapor here is a gas. So the change of state from solid directly into gas without necessarily passing through what the liquid state is known as sublimation. You do not pass through the liquid state. You just go from the solid to the vapor state, and that is the gas. So it is what? Sublimation. And our question says sublimation is a change of state from dash. A says solid to liquid, that says wrong because it's melting. B says solid to melting, which is wrong. C here says solid to vapor, like I told you, which is correct. And D says solid liquid to gases, which is wrong. So our answer is C, solid to vapor. C is the answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 24. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 24. Carpet grass is an example of dash. A. Non-living things. B. Living matter. C. Non-living matter. And D. Gaseous matter. So we're asked for if carpet grass is either a living thing or a non-living thing. And like we know that what? That living things are things that have life. Things that have life. And we say before we can classify any thing as a living thing, that it must possess some characteristics, because we have some characteristics of living things, and this include what? We have these characteristics include the respiration, we have the reproduction, we have movement, we have what? Death, we have what? Excretion, and so on. And like we know, plants and animals are what? Typical example of living things. Plants and animals are typical example of living things. Now the question says carpet grass is an example of dash. A says non-living things, and we know that non-living things are things that do not have life. They do not have life. And carpet grass here, if you look at it, carpet grass, it is a grass, and this grass is what? Is a plant. And like we say that the examples of living things are plants and animals. Now let's consider these plants. Plants are living things because what? Plants can undergo respiration. Plants can reproduce, although plants cannot move, but what they can do, what they still they still possess this character and some of the characteristics of these living things, like excretion also. And even plants can die. Plants do die. So because of this, we classify plants as living things. And definitely every type of plant or every example of plants must be a living thing. And carpet grass here is an example of plants, it's type of plant. So definitely carpet grass is a living thing. And so B is our answer, because B here says what? B here says living matter, and living matter also refers to as living things. So B is our answer, living matter. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 25. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 25. Which of the following items is biodegradable? Which of the following item is biodegradable? A. Unused plastic, B. Papers, C. Glass, and D. Banana peels. So we are asked to find the item that is biodegradable. Biodegradable. Now what does this biodegradable means? This simply means what? Items that can be decomposed. Items that can be decomposed. And this simply means what? Item that can be destroyed or acted upon by microorganisms. So we have to pick an item which can be destroyed or which can be decomposed by microorganisms. Now, when you say biodegradable materials, refer to those materials that can be destroyed or decomposed. Then the non-biodegradable materials will be those that cannot be decomposed or acted upon by microorganisms. Now, A here says what? A says unused plastic. And like we know, plastic cannot be acted upon by what? Microorganisms. Plastic cannot be decomposed. B here says paper. We also know that paper is not an organic material, so it cannot be decomposed. Glass also is not an organic material, it cannot be decomposed. Now, D says banana peel. Banana peel is a what? Is a plant material. And like we know, plant and animal what? Materials, or plant and animal products can be what? Can be decomposed. They can be acted upon by microorganisms. Like this banana peel now, when you leave banana peel for a long time, you discover that microorganisms will act on it and then what? Destroy it. It will decay. That's what it just simply means. It will what? Decay. So from this, you see that what? Banana peel is a biodegradable material because it can be acted upon by microorganisms and they can destroy it. Unlike the plastic, the papers, and the glass that are not biodegradable, they cannot be destroyed by microorganisms. So our answer is D, banana peels. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 26. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 26. The scientists that discover and tap crude oil from its location are called dash. A. Physical geologist, B. Chemical geologist, C. Geophysicist, and D. Surveyors. So we are asked to choose from these options the one that correctly represents the scientists that discover and tap crude oil from its location. Now, A here says what? Geologist. A here says physical geologist. Now, before we pick this physical, let's look at what a geologist simply means. Now, geologist simply refers to what? A person or a scientist. They are scientists actually that study and examine the what? The processes of the earth. They examine the processes of the earth. Now, when you say physical geologist, when you put physical geologist here, it simply refers to what? A person that studied what? The physical processes. The physical processes of the earth. Processes like what? Like flood. Flood is a physical process of the earth. You see volcanic eruption is physical process of the earth. So this is what where physical geologists do. Now for the chemical geologist, B here says what? Chemical geologist. So B says chemical geologist. Now the work of chemical geologist is that what? Chemical geologists examine the chemical processes. The chemical processes of the earth. Chemical processes of the earth. Now you know that this crude oil here is in the mineral resources. Crude oil is a mineral resources found in specific locations, and we know that this mineral resources, crude oil, is a chemical what? Is a chemical stuff. It's a chemical. This crude oil is a chemical. Now chemical geologists specialize in what? In examining and finding what? These chemical processes of the earth, which include the crude oil, the minerals, and you find these chemical geologists mostly in what? In petrochemical industries. You find them in the petrochemical industries. petrochemical industries. Now, C says what? Geophysicist. Now, geophysicist simply refers to what? Those or scientists that study the physical processes, and physical properties of the earth. So they study the physical processes and physical properties of the earth. Properties like what? Your temperature, the climate, the soils, the mountains. So that's the work of the geophysicist. They study the physical form of the earth, the physical properties of the earth, the shape of the earth. That's their work. Then the surveyor here, surveyors simply refers to as what? Those that deal with what? With the measurement of the earth. They take what? Measurements. They deal with measurements, shape of the earth, shape of what? Of things, the contour of the earth. So that is their job. They deal with what? With measurements. And our question says the scientists that discover and tap crude oil from its location are called. Remember, I say physical geologist deals with what? They examine the physical processes of the earth, like the flood, the volcanic erosion. I told you that the chemical geologist deals with what? The chemical processes of the earth, like your mineral resources. And I said you'll find most of them in the petrochemical industries. And you know that these petrochemical industries actually deals with what? Crude oil. And crude oil is a mineral resources. So from this, we can say that what? Our answer is B, which is what? Chemical geologists. These chemical geologists are those that will discover and tap crude oil from its location, and you find them mostly in petrochemical industries. So our answer to this question is B, chemical geologist. Thank you and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 27. The importance of skill acquisition includes the following except A. Encourage individual to learn, B. Help in self-employment, C. Improve the quality of life, and D. Increase the dependence on government. Now we are asked to find out of this option the one that is not an importance of skill acquisition. And like we know, skill acquisition simply means what? Getting. It just simply means getting or obtaining skill. Getting or obtaining skill. And like we know, this skill varies. This skill varies. This skill acquisition can either be formal or informal. It can either be formal or informal. An example of the formal one is what? Like the school that we go to. In our school, we attend school to acquire skills. The university we go to the university to specialize in different courses. Acquisition of skill, that's the formal. Then the informal is the one like like for instance now going to like learn tailoring. All these are informal, learning tailoring or what? Mechanic workshops. But all these things involves what? Skill acquisition. It still involves skill acquisition. Now we are asked that which of these is not an importance of skill acquisition. Now A here says what? Encourage individual to learn. And like we know, skill acquisition involves what? Learning. Once you acquire skill, you're learning, and our everyday life deals with what? Deals with learning. So actually skill acquisition will encourage individuals to learn. It will enable you to learn more, because the more you acquire skill, the more you learn. So A is an importance of skill acquisition. Then B says help in self-employment. And like I told you, skill acquisition simply means what? Obtaining skills, acquiring skills. Now when you acquire these skills, what do you happen? You now put these skills into practice. You put the skills into practice. Let me give you an instance now. And like I told you, I say this skill acquisition is in the formal way and the informal way. Now let's say for instance the formal way now. Let's say for instance now in a university you study fishery. You studied fishery in the university, fishery. And like we know, fishery simply means what? The acts of growing or rearing with fishes. Now you study fishery, and then as you finish from the university, you set up what? A fish pond, and you begin to rear fish and you begin to sell this fish. Now what happened? You've employed yourself. That's what the self-employment means. You've employed yourself. You've employed yourself, self-employment. So it's that skill acquisition actually was help you what in self-employment. You don't need to depend on others for job. You've employed yourself. Also in the informal way, take for instance, you learn tailoring. After learning it and you receive your freedom, what happened? You begin to sew clothes for people and begin to earn money. So that is what self-employment. So self-employment is an importance of skill acquisition. Now see here says what improve the quality of living. Yes, skill acquisition has helped improve the quality of living. It has improved the quality of living. The aspect of technology. You go to a computer site or you learn computer in school. Now this computer knowledge that you have, this computer skill you have, has improved your quality life. It has turned what? It has turned what hard labor. It has turned our hard labor to what easy labor. Make this very easy. So skill acquisition has actually helped to what improve the quality of life. It has improved the quality of life because when you acquire skill and you employ yourself and make money, what happens? Your quality of life will increase. Your standard of living will increase because what you don't depend on others for money. So your standard of living will increase. Then D here says what? Increase the dependence on the government. Now skill acquisition will not increase the dependence of the government. It's not an importance. This increased dependence on the government is not an importance. This simply means that what? You solely depend on the government. You solely depend on the government of the states, which is not an importance of skill acquisition, because one who depends on the government will not employ himself. The person will be waiting for white collar job from the government. You won't apply the person won't apply the skills he learned. Like take for instance, now maybe you learned fishery. Instead of you to apply this fishery to make money, you won't apply it. You'll be waiting on the government for white collar jobs. So increase the dependence of government is not an importance of skill acquisition. Like we said, encouraging learning is an importance, self-employment is an importance, and even the improving of quality of health is an importance of life. But the increased independence of government is not an importance of skill acquisition, because once you acquire skill, you won't want to rely on the government for job. So our answer here now is what? D is D, because the question says the importance of skill acquisition include the following except. So all these here are importance of skill acquisition except D. So our answer is D. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 28. The following are abiotic factors except. The following are abiotic factors except A. Light, B. Rainfall, C. Pest, and D. Temperature. Now, things we're going to consider here is what? Abiotic factors. Abiotic factors. They say the following are abiotic factors. Now, before I start with abiotic factors, okay, like we know, these abiotic factors are components of the ecosystem. They are components of ecosystem. And like we know, we say the ecosystem is what? Ecosystem simply refers to the what? To the biological environment. That is the living things and the non-living things. Ecosystem here just simply refers to the what? It refers to the living things. The living things and the non-living things. Now, these living things are what we refer to as what? The biotic factors. We refer to them as the biotic factors. The biotic factors. Now, the aspect of the ecosystem which are non-living things, we refer to them as the what? Abiotic factors. We refer to them as abiotic factors. Now, ecosystem is just what? Our biological environment, like I said. And this biological environment, like we know, is made up of the biotic factors and the abiotic factors. Now, these biotic factors, which I told you are living things, include the what? It includes the plants and animals. To include the plants and animals. But now, this abiotic factor, like I told you, the non-living components simply include what? Our weather, our climate, and so on. Things like the temperature, your rainfall, sunlight, sunlight, and so on. So these are the abiotic factor. Now the question says the following are abiotic factor. That is, now the following are the non-living components of an ecosystem, except, so you have to pick that, you have to pick an option which is not an abiotic factor. And like I said an abiotic factor is the non-living components, while the biotic factor are the living component, the plants and the animals. So we have to pick now we have to pick a biotic factor now, because we have asked that all these are abiotic factor except. So now A here says what? Sunlight. A here says light. A says light. And like we know, light is an abiotic factor because light is gotten from sunlight. Light is gotten from sunlight and it's a non-living component. So light is an abiotic factor. B here says rainfall. Rainfall is a non-living component. It's also an abiotic factor. D here says temperature. Temperature is also an abiotic factor. It's a non-living component. But C here says pest. C says pest. And like we know, pests are what? Pests are simply organisms. Pests are organisms that do what? That feed or destroy plants, crops. What I want to pick from here is that this word organism. Pests are organisms, meaning that pests are living things. This organism simply means pests are living things. And like we said, the living things are they are the biotic factors. So now C here is pest, and pest is a living component, not a non-living component. So pest is not an abiotic factor. So our answer here is C, pest. Pest is our answer, C. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 29. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 29. The boy that cannot see distant objects is said to have a defect of the eye called dash. A. Astigmatism, B. Cataract, C. Myopia, and D. Hypermetropia. So a boy that cannot see distant objects, that means the boy cannot see what? The boy cannot see distant objects, meaning the boy cannot see far. He cannot see far objects. Is said to have a defect of the eye called dash. Now A here says astigmatism. Like we know, we have different eye defects, and these eye defects are a result of one thing or the other. Now A here says astigmatism, and astigmatism simply means what? Astigmatism is an eye defect whereby the eye is what? The person cannot see image clearly. This is due to what? It is due to the uneven curvature of the lens. It is due to the uneven curvature of the lens. Now you know this lens in the eye, the convex lens in the eye, by convex lens in the eye. Now it enables us to see clearly. But astigmatism will result in what? In blurry images, because this lens now is not, the curvature is uneven. Like the shape of the lens now is not even. The uneven curvature of the lens because what? Astigmatism. Now B here simply says what? Cataract. Now cataract is what? Cloudy vision. Cloudy vision. The person will be able to see clearly. This is due to what? Due to the deposit of materials. Deposit of materials in the eye. So these materials actually block vision. The materials block vision. So cataract is just cloudy vision. The person will be able to see clearly because of deposit of certain materials in the eye. Now C here says what? Myopia. Myopia simply refers to short sightedness. Sightedness. Now myopia simply means that the person can see the person can see short distance. The person can see short distance, but cannot see what? Far objects. The person can see only what? This object that are close to the person. That's short distance objects. That's myopia. That's why it's called short-sightedness. Short-sightedness. The person can only see object that is close to him, but the person cannot see what? Far objects. That's myopia. And this is because what? The eyeball is what? The eyeball is longer than normal. Because the eyeball is longer than normal. Now, DS is what? Hypermetropia. Hypermetropia here simply refers to as what? Long-sightedness. Long-sightedness. Now, in this case, the person can see what? Distant objects. The person can see far objects, but the person cannot see close objects. Close what? Objects. The person cannot see close objects, but the person can see what? Far objects. But the question says that the boy that cannot see distant objects is said to have a defect of the eye called dash. Now, like I told you, from this you see that what? Myopia is C, which is short-sightedness, simply refers to that what? The person can see close objects but cannot see far objects. And the question says that the boy cannot see distant objects, so definitely the boy has what? Myopia, short-sightedness, because he can only see this close object but cannot see far objects. So our answer is what? C. Myopia, short-sightedness. Our answer is C. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. So today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 30. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 30. Calculate the kinetic energy in joules of a body of mass 30 gram at a velocity of 3 meter per second. Calculate the kinetic energy in joules of a body of mass 30 gram at a velocity of 3 meter per second. A 0.05 joules, B 0.14, C 10, and D 45. Now let's calculate what the kinetic energy. And we know kinetic energy is what? Is a form of mechanical energy. Now kinetic energy, KE, which is what? Energy in motion. Energy in motion. Kinetic energy, energy in motion, is simply given as, because it deals with motion, is simply given as what? Half times mass m times what? Our velocity, square of the velocity. So this is a formula for calculating what? Kinetic energy. This m here is the mass, and the mass is given as what? 30 gram. Now remember, this mass is meant to be in kg, so we'll convert this 30 gram to what? To kg, and that will be 30 divided by what? 1000, and this will give us 0.03 kilogram. Now our v here is the velocity, and v is equals to what? 3. V is equals to 3 meter per second, but we are using v square, so v square will be equals to what? 3 square, which is equal to 9. So now to find our kinetic energy, KE is equals to what? Half. That's 1 over 2, and 1 over 2 is same thing as saying what? 0.5. So 0.5 times 0.03 times 9, which is our v square, is equal to what? 0.135 joules. 0.135 joules. But to the nearest what? To the nearest 2 decimal place, we're going to have what? To the nearest 2 decimal place, which will give us 0.14 joules. So our answer is what? Our answer is B, 0.14 joules. 0.14 joules. B is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, Question 31. When radioactivity occurs, the following are associated with it, except that dash. When radioactivity occurs, the following are associated with it, except dash. A. Rays are released. B. A new element is found. C. Energy is consumed. and D, reaction is spontaneous. Now they're just trying to tell us to pick out of this which is not a characteristics of radioactivity, that is, which of these is not associated with radioactivity. And before we continue, we have to know the meaning of radioactivity, which is the center of this question. Now radioactivity simply means the word spontaneous, the spontaneous disintegration, or if you don't want to use disintegration, you can say what spontaneous decay of a substance, or it can be an element or elements which emits or release particles, and these particles might be your alpha particle, it can be your beta particle, or your gamma rays, and energy. Now this energy is in form of what? Heat energy. The energy is in form of heat energy. So reactivity simply refers to the spontaneous disintegration or spontaneous decay of an element which emits what? Particles. It can be your alpha particle, the beta particle, or your gamma rays, and also emits energy, and this energy is in form of heat energy. Now the question says which of these, all these are associated with what? Radioactivity, except, that means we have to find the one that is not associated with radioactivity. Now A here says rays are released, and like we know, this rays released refers to the what? To the particles released. It refers to the particles, the radiations. And like I told you, I say what? Radioactivity will result in the emission of what? Emission of particles. This includes your alpha particle, your beta particle, and your gamma rays. So rays are released is associated. Now B says what? A new element is formed. Yes, when radioactivity occurs, new elements are formed. How? Now when there's a spontaneous disintegration or spontaneous decay, there will be a reduction in the what? In the mass or the atomic mass of, there will be a reduction in the atomic mass or number in atomic mass or number of the elements. And you know each element has a what? Each element has their own particular atomic number and mass. But when there's a reduction or addition of this atomic number or what? Atomic mass, what happens? You notice that this element has to change to another element. So a new element is formed, and the new element formed actually depends on the type of what? Particles that is being emitted. Like if the radioactivity is emitting alpha particle, the element that will be formed will be different from the elements formed when it is what? A beta particle that is being emitted. So actually a new element is formed. Now D here says, I want to skip C. D here says what? Reaction is spontaneous. And yes, the reaction is spontaneous. Remember from our definition, I said what? Reactivity is the spontaneous disintegration or spontaneous decay. So the reaction is actually spontaneous. It is a sudden reaction. It is spontaneous. Now C say what? Energy is consumed. No, radioactivity does not consume energy. Instead, radioactivity emits energy. Like I told you, I said what? It emits energy. It emits particles and energy, and this energy is in form of what? Heat energy. So it does not consume energy. Radioactivity what? Emits energy. So from this we see that our answer is C. Energy is not consumed during what? Reactivity. So energy is what? Emitted. Energy is emitted. So our answer to this question is C. Thank you and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 32. One area in which flooding may be beneficial is dash. One area in which flooding may be beneficial is dash. A, in road construction, B, in farming, C, in building houses, and D, in the extinction of wildlife. Now, what is flooding? What is flooding? Flooding actually occurs when a river overflow, it's what? When it overflow, it banks, or it's, yeah. When a river overflow its banks, we say what? Flooding has occurred. And this flooding usually occur in what? In coastal areas, riverine areas. If flooding is more common in riverine areas or coastal areas. Now we are asked that one of the area in which flooding is beneficial is include dash. Now this word beneficial means what? Importance. It simply means what? Importance. Importance. So we have to look for one of the way in which what? Flooding is important. Now A here says in road construction, and like we know, flooding is very what? Is very bad in terms of road construction, because flooding will lead to what? Will lead to soil erosion. It will lead to erosion. Flooding leads to erosion, and this erosion causes what? It causes road destruction. That is, it destroys our roads. It destroys our road. And so flooding is not beneficial in terms of road construction, because when we're talking about beneficial, we're looking for what? How important it is. And in terms of road construction, flooding is what? Is destructive. Now let's go to C. C says in building houses. In building houses. Now flooding is not also beneficial in terms of what? Building houses. It's not important, because flooding what? Destroys. Flooding destroys what? Building construction. It destroys building construction. When the building construction is going on and then a flood come up, what happens? This building gets what? Destroyed by this flood. So it is not important. Now D says what? The extinction of wildlife. And like we know, wildlife is a very important aspect of man today. Wildlife, it has helped in what? Man's tourism. And this tourism is a means of what? Is a means of income generation. Income generation. Now flooding leads to the extinction of wildlife, and we know that if wildlife going to extinction, it is not beneficial for man, because what? These wildlife are actually used by man for tourism. But we are asked to find what? One of the importance. So you can see that the extinction of wildlife is not a beneficial what? Way area of flooding. Now B here says in farming. B says in farming. Now I want you to understand that when flooding occurs, this flood carry what? This water, they carry nutrient-rich sediments. The water carries what? Nutrient-rich sediments. Nutrient-rich sediments. And deposit the sediments on what? On our soil or on our vegetations. And these nutrient-rich sediments, now when deposited on our soil and vegetations, what happens? They improve the what? The quality of our plant production. They improve the quality. So you can see that flooding is important in what? In farming, because it helps deposit what? Nutrients. And you know, plants need nutrients for their what? For their growth and survival. So flooding is actually important in terms of what? Farming. It is not important, it is not beneficial in terms of road construction, because it leads to what? Destruction of roads. Likewise, it leads to destruction of buildings, that's houses, and also since it leads to the extinction of wildlife, it is not also important. But in the aspect of farming, we've seen that what? Flooding is important because it helps to deposit nutrient-rich sediments, which is important for what? Maximum plant production. So our answer to this question is B in farming. Thank you and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. So today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science past question. Question 33. Environmental hazards involve the following except A. Erosion, B. Bush burning, C. Deforestation, and D. Reforestation. So we have to pick an option which is not part of environmental hazards. Now, what is environmental hazard? Environmental hazard just simply means what? Harmful practices that affect the environment. Harmful practices that affect the environment. And these practices are usually carried out by man, which are as a result of man's activities. So now these practices are actually what they are harmful. They affect the environment, and that's why we refer to them as environmental hazard, because it causes damage to the environment. But now the question says environmental hazard involve the following except, that is, which of these is not an environmental hazard? When you see the word except, it simply means what? The negation. That's a negative of your question. So now, which of these is not an environmental hazard? A says erosion, and like we know, erosion simply means what? Erosion simply means the wearing away of the what? Of the topsoil. Involves the wearing away of the topsoil, and this can either be as a result of what? Wind or water, as in flooding. They can what? They can wear away the topsoil, and this leads to erosion. Now, erosion will lead to what? Will lead to the depletion of the soil nutrients, because as this erosion occurs, as the topsoil is being what? Is being blown away or weighed away, the soil nutrients is being depleted, and this affects the environment, because it definitely affects plant production. Now B says bush burning. Bush burning is also what? An environmental hazard, and this simply means what? Setting bushes on fire. Now, how is this bush burning harmful to the environment? When we set bushes on fire, what happens? In the process of burning these bushes, we burn the topsoil. We burn the topsoil, and so therefore the nutrients in this topsoil is being depleted. And once this nutrient is depleted, what happens? It affects the production of plants. So it affects what? It affects the nutrients contained in this soil. So bush burning is an environmental hazard. Now C says deforestation, and like we know, deforestation simply means the falling of trees. Deforestation simply refers to the what? To the falling of trees, that is, cutting down trees, either for engineering work or for production of timbers that are used in making your doors, your windows. That's what deforestation means: falling trees, cutting down trees. Now, this deforestation is actually an environmental hazard, because it exposes the soil, it exposes the environment to unfavorable conditions. It exposes the soil to sunlight, to rays, radiations. It exposes the soil to erosion. And when all this occurs, it depletes the nutrients of the soil, and this affects plant production. So deforestation is an environmental hazard. Now D here says reforestation, and reforestation here simply means what? Reforestation simply refers to the planting of trees. And like we know, planting of trees helps what? It helps to restore the environment. It helps to restore the environment or the ecosystem. Planting of trees helps to restore the environment. So you see that what? Reforestation is not an environmental hazard. Instead, reforestation helps to what? It helps to improve the standard of the environment. It helps to restore the environment. And the question says environmental hazard involves the following except. So we have erosion as an environmental hazard, we have bush burning as an environmental hazard, deforestation is an environmental hazard, but reforestation here is not an environmental hazard. So our answer to this question is D, reforestation. D is our answer. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 34. The system of ozone is dash. The system of ozone is dash. A, O2, B, O3, C, OO, and D, O4. Now they're just asking us simply the chemical representation of ozone. the chemical representation of ozone. That's what this question is asking us. And like we know, ozone is like a layer. They call it the ozone layer. And it helps protect us. It protects man or the environment from harmful radiations. Harmful radiations or harmful rays. We call them the ultraviolet rays from the sun. So it helps us protect man. It protects the environment from these harmful radiations, ultraviolet rays from the sun. So this ozone is a layer. And this ozone is a chemical is a chemical substance. And like we know, chemicals are represented by by chemical formula. So this question is just asking us that the system of ozone is that is what is the chemical representation of ozone. And ozone, like we know, ozone is made up of three molecules and 3 atoms of oxygen. Ozone is made up of 3 atoms of oxygen. That is, one molecule of ozone is made up of 3 atoms. 3 atoms of oxygen. And so therefore we have since we have 3 atoms of oxygen, we're going to be having O3. That means one molecule of ozone consists of 3 atoms of oxygen. And from this we can see that our answer is B, O3. Our answer is B. So B is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel to get more of our videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question 35. The following can be used to control desertification except A. Enactment and enforcement of law against bush burning and deforestation, B. Afforestation, C. Public enlightenment, and D. Grazing. So we are asked to pick an option which cannot be used to control desertification. And like we know, desertification simply means or refer to the ways, or we call it desertification. That's it means the ways of forming a desert. That is, desertification is the process of forming, or you can say creating a desert. And we know that there's various activities that lead to desertification. There are various activities that lead to desertification, like your deforestation, which includes falling of trees, can lead to desertification. So now the question says the following can be used to control desertification. That is, all these options here now can be used to stop or prevent desertification, except one. That is, one of these options cannot stop desertification. Now, A says enactment and enforcement of law against bush burning and deforestation. Like I told you, I see some of the things that lead to desertification is bush burning. Bush burning is one of them. Bush burning, deforestation is one of them. Deforestation, because all these will expose the soil. Deforestation includes falling of trees, falling trees. Bush burning means burning bush, that's setting bush on fire, and all this will expose the soil, leading to desertification. But now, when you enact and enforce law against these things, when you enact law, that is, when you put a stop to bush burning and deforestation, what happens? You are controlling You're controlling desertification. You're controlling desertification. So you're controlling desertification. So you can see that this can be used to control desertification. Now B says afforestation. Afforestation here simply means planting of trees. Planting of trees. And yes, planting of trees help to restore the environment. So afforestation also controls desertification, because when you plant trees, there will be no way desertification can set in. Now C here is public enlightenment, and like we know, public enlightenment simply means educating the public about the dangers about the dangers or side effects of desertification, and you enlighten them about their activities that can lead to desertification. So by enlightening the public, by educating them about the dangers of desertification and ways by which they can stop desertification, you are controlling what desertification. Now D here says grazing, and like we know, grazing is done by animals. Our cattle, our sheep, our horses, they graze. So grazing is done by animals, and this grazing refers to the eating of grasses. That's feeding on grasses, like our shrubs. And when these animals feed on these grasses, they expose this soil, and this can lead to desertification. So you see that grazing will not control desertification. Grazing will not control desertification. Now let's go back to the question. The question says the following will control desertification except. That means one of these options will not control desertification. And like we've seen, grazing will not control desertification. Instead, grazing will lead to desertification. So our answer to this question is D, grazing. D is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be dealing with Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question 37. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question 37. The partial complete lack of pigmentation in the skin of a child cause dash. The partial complete lack of pigmentation in the skin of a child cause dash. A. Partial dominance. B. Genetic disorder. C. Variation. And D. Albinism. I'll go over the options again. A says partial dominance, B says genetic disorder, C says variation, and D says albinism. Now the question says the partial complete lack of pigmentation in the skin of a child cause dash. Now the keywords here are the partial complete lack of pigmentation of the skin. Like we know, the skin has pigmentations, that it has pigment that gives the skin its color, and in man this pigment is what we call the melanin. This pigment that gives us our color in the skin of man is known as melanin. Now the question says that the partial complete lack of pigmentation in the skin, that is the partial complete lack of this melanin on the skin of a child, will cause dash. A here says partial dominance. A says partial dominance, and like we know, partial dominance here is what simply refers to incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance. That's what partial dominance simply refers to. Incomplete dominance. That is, there is a blend in the traits. There's a blend in the traits. Now what does this mean? Take for instance, now you have a tall tree and a short tree, or yes, a tall tree and a short tree now, and you crossbreed these two together. Now let's say, take for instance, this tall tree is actually dominant, but in case of partial dominance or incomplete dominance, what do you have? You will have a tree that is neither tall nor short. That is what this partial dominance simply refers to. And partial dominance here doesn't account for this answer at all. Then B here says genetic disorder, and like we know, genetic disorder simply refers to as disorder which as a result of a disorder that are linked disorders which are linked to genetic materials, that is the gene. These disorders are linked to genetic materials. Like for instance, if there's a problem in gene coding, that is, if there's a problem in the coding of genes, you can have a genetic disorder. Or if there's a problem in the structure of these genes, genetic disorder can result. So C here says variation, and like we know, variation simply refers to as the differences in organisms, or differences in living things, differences in organisms in living things. That's what variation refers to, and this variation is as a result of what? Sexual reproduction. Variation is as a result of sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Now D here says albinism. Albinism here simply refers to what? The partial, complete loss or lack of pigmentation of the skin. Pigmentation of the skin, that's what this albinism refers to. And our question says the partial complete lack of pigmentation in the skin of a child causes dash. Like I told you, partial dominance just refers to what? Incomplete dominance. That is, there's a blend between these two traits, and it is not what caused by the lack of pigmentation. Likewise, the genetic disorder is not caused by the what? By lack of pigmentation. Genetic disorder is caused by what? Is caused by a disorder in what? The gene coding, or maybe when there's a problem in the structure of these genetic materials, such as the chromosomes, and then so it is not what caused by what? Lack of pigmentation. Likewise, variation. I told that variation simply refers to differences in sexual in organisms, and as a result of sexual reproduction. So it is not also caused by lack of pigmentation. But albinism here, on the other hand, is what refers to the what? To the lack of pigmentation. Albinism refers to the lack of pigmentation. So our answer to this question is what? Is D, albinism. D is the answer. So the partial complete lack of pigmentation in the skin of a child causes what? Albinism. So D is our answer. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 38. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 38. Bones and horns are used in making dash: A. Bags, B. Shoes, C. Belts, and D. Glue. Now I want you to know that these bones and horns are products gotten from animals. That is, they are byproducts of animals, like your cattle, the goats, the sheep. So you get this from them. So bones and horn are products from animals, and they are used in making what? Several things. Now we are asked that bones and horns are used in making dash. A here says bags, and like we know, bags are made up of what? They are made from leathers. Bags are made from leather, and this leather is gotten from what? Is gotten from the skin of these animals. Skin of animals. The leather is gotten from skin of animals. So it is not made from what? It is not made from bones, neither is it made from horn. Now B here says shoes. Shoes are also made from what? From leather. And like I say, this leather are what? Are gotten from the skin of animals, like your cattle, your sheep. So definitely what? The shoe is not made from bones and horns. C here says belts. Belts also are made from leathers, and I told you this leather are made from what? Skin of animals, not from bones and horns. Now D here says glue, and glue are what? Glue are made from bones and horns. Glues are made from bones and horns. This is because this bone and horns contains what? They have the same composition. That is, they have the same chemical composition. So glues are made from bones and horns. Like I said, bags are not made from bones and horns, they are made from leather. Shoes are not made from bones and horns, they are made from leather, and these leathers are gotten from skin of animals. Likewise belts, but then glue are made from what? Bones and horns. So our answer to this question is D, glue. Thank you very much and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel to get more of our videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be dealing with Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 39. Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 39. Cereals are food crops rich in dash. cereals are food crops rich in dash A. Starch, B. Protein, C. Fat and oil, and D. Vitamins. Now, like we know, cereals are food crops, and when we say food crops, we mean what? Crops that are what? Crops that are grown mainly for consumption. Mainly for consumption. This is because these crops actually provide us with what? With basic nutrients. Now, cereals are a class of food crops. Cereals are a class of food crops, and these cereals, most especially, provides man with a particular nutrient. Cereals, it gives man a particular what? Class of nutrients. Like we know, the various classes of food or nutrients that we have include the carbohydrates. We have the carbohydrates. We have the what? The protein. We have the protein. We have the vitamins, the mineral salts. We have mineral salts, and then we have the fats and oil. So these are the various classes of nutrients or foods that we have, fats and oil. Now, the question says cereals are food crops rich in dash. Now, this cereals refers to crops like what? Like your rice. Your rice is a cereal. Like your wheat. Your wheat is a cereal. Now, these cereals crops are examples of food crops that are rich in what? Carbohydrate. That is what? They are carbohydrates what? Foods. They are carbohydrate foods. And these carbohydrate foods what? Provides starch. It includes starch. Now the question says cereals are food crops rich in dash. A says starch, B says protein, C says fat and oil, and D says vitamins. And like we know, cereals are what? Are food that give us carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates can be in form of starch. So from this you see that our answer is what? Our answer is A, starch. So cereals are food crops rich in what? Rich in starch, because what? They are carbohydrate food. They give us energy. So cereals are food crops rich in starch. So the answer is what? Is A, starch. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel to get more of our videos. Hello, good day and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Bece 2018 Basic Science Past Question, question 40. Which of the following is not a renewable energy source? A. Geothermal energy, B. Nuclear energy, C and B. Solar energy, C. Nuclear energy, and D. Wind energy. I'll go over the question again. Which of the following is not a renewable energy source? A. Geothermal energy, B. Solar energy, C. Nuclear energy, and D. Wind energy. Now, what are renewable energy? What are renewable energy? Renewable energy simply refers to what? Energy whose source can be what? Whose source can be restored. Whose source can be restored. That is, these are energy from source that cannot be used up. That is, these sources of energy, this renewable energy source cannot be used up. They cannot be used up. they last for lifetime. They last for a lifetime. They last for a lifetime. So these sources of energy cannot be used up. They cannot be used up. Now the question says, which of the following is not a renewable energy source? That is, from our options, we have to pick the one which is not a renewable what energy source. And remember, we've established that renewable energy source are energy source that can be restored. That is, they cannot be used up. They last for a lifetime. Now A here says geothermal energy, B says solar energy, and C says nuclear energy, while D says wind energy. So out of these four now, we are going to pick the one which is not a renewable energy source. We'll pick the one which is not a renewable energy source. Now let's start with A, geothermal energy. Let's start with A, geothermal energy. Now what is geothermal energy? The geothermal energy are actually energy like in form of heat. From the word thermal, you hear geothermal energy. They are energy what in form of heat, and this energy are usually gotten from what? They are gotten from plants. This energy are gotten from plants, and like we know, plants are living organisms, and plants cannot be what? Plants cannot be used up. Plants cannot be used up. So geothermal energy are gotten from what? That is like a form of heat energy gotten from plants, and that is where the name is derived from geothermal energy. Plants like power plants, and they cannot be used up. So geothermal energy is a what? Is a renewable energy source. Now solar energy here is just what? Energy from the sun. Energy from the what? From the sun. And like we know, sun is what? Sun can last for a lifetime. Sun can never be used up. So solar energy is a renewable energy source. Now let's skip to D. D is wind energy, and like we know, energy from the wind is also what? Is also a renewable energy source, because what? Wind can never be used up. Wind cannot be used up. Cannot be used up. This wind can last for a lifetime. But C here says what? Now C says nuclear energy. C says nuclear energy, and like we know, this nuclear energy are actually energy what? Derived from what? From nuclear reactions. Energy from nuclear reactions, like from what? From materials or from elements. From materials or what? Or elements. So nuclear energy are energy derived from what? From nuclear reactions. Now this nuclear energy are not renewable. Nuclear energy are not renewable. Like I told you, this energy are gotten from what? They are gotten from the nucleus of an atom. And like we know, atoms are what? Are small indivisible particles of a substance. Now it is possible that these elements which is nuclear energy is derived, or these substances that nuclear energy is derived, they can be used up because of their elements, so they can be used up. And that is why we refer to nuclear energy as a non-renewable source. So it is not a renewable energy source. So our answer to this question is what? Is C, nuclear energy. Thank you and God bless you. Please ensure you subscribe to our channel to get more of our videos.